one more thing we're going to look at is how to pass in parents into classes, and this is actually very handy. You remember how I said we couldn't access any variables within the game1 class? Well, this is not entirely true if we make them public and use parameter passing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the game batch public and public also the game font, right? And here on my player class I'm going to create a private game1 and I'm going to call it parent, like so. And basically a game1, if you notice, is one of these. So our game1 will contain all our variables that we have here and all the public ones we'll be able to access. Then I want to pass in a game1, the parent. And what I'm going to say is that parent equals the parent. Now whenever it comes to parameter passing, if structures are huge, and generally classes are, it doesn't pass a copy of it, it actually points directly to it. So if, for example, when we create our class and it asks for our game1 class, the parent, in this case you just type in this. So basically this current class game1, give it to player 1. So I give it to player 1 here, and then it sets it to parent. So what is actually happening? Parent is now, when I access parent dot anything, I'm actually accessing our main game1 class. And because of this, I no longer need these, because I can just type in something like parent dot game batch dot draw string parent dot game font 1, and then the text h position color dot white. And then of course when I call the draw I no longer need to give it anything because it has direct access via the parent variable. And as you can see, it works perfectly fine. Now I can't think of any other way to explain how this works, so I'm just going to go through it one more time. We have our constructor here. We define a game1 variable and I've called it parent, and then on the constructor we pass in a game1 variable, the parent. Parent gets set to the parent, and then when we create it we are passing in this, which this is the current class we are in. And if I scroll up you'll see the current class is the game1 class. So we are giving player 1 the current class we're in, the game1 class, i.e. the parent, and that's why I named it parent. That means any public variables that are in game1, i.e. a public sprite batch called game badge and a public sprite font called game font 1, are accessible via the parent. So parent.gamebatch and parent.gamefont1. And that is all I can really think of to do of explaining it, and hopefully you'll understand what I've just discussed.